Over 60, what if the real reason many people lose independence starts somewhere you rarely think about: your glutes? Most people blame aging problems on the knees, or the back, or painful joints. But something surprising is happening long before those problems appear. A silent weakness begins in the glute muscles, the muscles that help you stand up, walk, climb stairs, and keep your balance. And when these muscles weaken, small changes begin to appear. Standing up from a chair takes more effort. Walking becomes slower. Balance feels less certain. Then one day, a simple misstep becomes a fall. According to research in the Journal of Gerontology, adults over 60 lose about 3–8% of muscle strength each decade, and a large part of that loss happens in the hips and glutes. But here's the part most people never hear. Many older adults try to stay active by walking more. And walking is good. But walking alone often does not fully activate the glute muscles. Over time, the body begins to rely more on the lower back and knees instead of the hips. That shift slowly reduces stability and increases strain on the joints. This is why many physical therapists now focus on something different: glute activation. And some of the most effective methods come from Japanese rehabilitation programs. Japan is known for long life expectancy, but what truly stands out is this: many Japanese adults remain physically independent well into their 80s and 90s. Why? Researchers found that many seniors regularly practice small, controlled exercises that keep the glutes active. Not intense workouts, not risky movements, just simple exercises that wake up muscles the body forgot how to use. Today, we'll look at 3 of these Japanese-style exercises. The first one may look almost too simple. But when done correctly, many people feel their glutes activate within seconds. Exercise 1: Glute Bridge, Japanese rehab style. Why do Japanese physical therapists use the glute bridge to wake up sleeping glutes after 60? Have you ever noticed something strange? Some people over 60 can still move easily. They stand up quickly. They walk with confidence, but others struggle just to rise from a chair. Often the difference is not age. It is glute activation. When the glutes stop working properly, the body starts compensating. The lower back works harder, the knees take more pressure, and the hips lose power. Over time, this pattern can lead to stiffness, instability, and even falls. That is why many Japanese rehabilitation clinics start with one simple movement: the glute bridge. But here is the key. They do it slowly and with control. Because the purpose is not just movement. The purpose is retraining the nervous system. Research from the National Strength and Conditioning Association shows that the glute bridge strongly activates the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in the body responsible for hip extension and posture. And when that muscle wakes up again, the body often regains stability. Here is how Japanese therapists often teach it. Lie on your back on a firm surface, bend your knees. Place your feet flat on the floor, your heels should be about hip-width apart. Now pause for a moment. Before lifting your hips, gently tighten your stomach muscles. Then slowly press your heels into the floor. And lift your hips upward. Not too high. Just until your body forms a straight line from shoulders to knees. Then hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds. During the hold, focus on squeezing the glutes, not the lower back. Then slowly lower down. And repeat. Most beginners start with 10 repetitions. But here is a question I want you to think about. When you try this exercise, do you feel the work in your glutes? Or do you feel it in your lower back? Many older adults realize something surprising. Their glutes are barely activating at all. And that realization is important, because awareness is the first step to rebuilding strength. A study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science found that glute bridge exercises significantly improve hip stability and walking performance in older adults. But consistency matters. Just 3 sessions per week can begin to improve muscle activation within a few weeks. And here is something encouraging. This exercise places very little stress on the knees, which makes it safe for many older adults. But the next exercise introduces a different challenge: balance. And this is where many people discover something they did not expect. Because when you stand on one leg, the body reveals the truth about strength and stability. And that brings us to the second Japanese exercise, one that often surprises people over 60. Exercise 2, single leg balance squat. Can standing on one leg reveal hidden weakness after 60? The Japanese single leg balance squat. Try something simple for a moment. Stand up. Hold onto a chair if needed. Now lift one foot slightly off the floor. Just stand on the other leg. How stable do you feel? Many people over 60 notice something surprising at this moment. The body begins to wobble. The standing leg feels weak. And balance suddenly feels uncertain. This small test reveals an important truth. Walking, climbing stairs, and stepping over obstacles all depend on single leg strength. Every step you take while walking is actually a brief single leg balance moment. So when the muscles around the hips and glutes are weak, the body struggles to stabilize itself during these moments. That instability is one reason falls become more common with age. In Japan, balance training has long been part of senior health programs. One exercise often used in rehabilitation settings is a gentle version of the single leg balance squat. It looks simple, but it activates multiple muscles at once. The glutes, the hips, the stabilizing muscles around the knee, and even the muscles in the feet. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that single-leg balance exercises improve lower body strength and significantly reduce fall risk in older adults. Here is how to perform the movement safely. Stand behind a chair or next to a wall. This gives you support if needed. Lift one foot slightly off the floor. Now slowly bend the knee of the standing leg. Only a small bend is necessary. Just a few inches. Pause for a second. Then slowly return to standing. The key is control, not speed. Try 6 to 8 repetitions on each leg. If balance feels difficult at first, that is normal. Many people discover that one side of the body feels stronger than the other. That imbalance is common, but improving it can make everyday movements safer. And here is something interesting researchers often observe. When older adults begin training single-leg strength, their walking speed improves. Why? Because the body feels more stable during each step. Walking becomes smoother, more confident. But there is another benefit many people do not expect. Single-leg training forces the gluteus medius, a smaller but very important glute muscle, to activate. This muscle stabilizes the pelvis during movement. When it becomes weak, the hips may drop while walking. This is sometimes called the Trendelenburg gait, a common pattern seen in aging adults. Strengthening this muscle helps the body maintain balance during daily activities. Now think about this for a moment. How often during the day do you actually train balance? Most people never do. Yet balance is one of the strongest predictors of independence after 60. Researchers from Harvard Medical School have emphasized that balance training is one of the most effective strategies for preventing falls in older adults. But the next Japanese exercise focuses on something even more specific. A muscle many people have never heard of. Yet when it becomes weak, the hips lose stability and walking mechanics change. And that muscle is targeted by the final exercise. One that looks simple, but when done correctly, it can strengthen the side of the hips in a powerful way. Let's take a closer look. Exercise 3, side-lying leg raise. Why do Japanese rehabilitation programs strengthen the side of the hips with this simple movement? Many people believe the glutes are only about the back of the hips. But that is only part of the story. There are actually 3 main glute muscles working together: the gluteus maximus, the gluteus medius, and the gluteus minimus. And when it comes to balance and walking, the gluteus medius plays a critical role. This muscle sits on the side of the hip. Its main job is stabilizing the pelvis every time you lift one leg while walking. Without it, the body begins to compensate. The hips tilt, the knees move inward, and the lower back absorbs extra strain. Over time, this can affect posture, walking mechanics, and joint health. Japanese physical therapy programs often include an exercise that targets this muscle directly: the side-lying leg raise. It may look simple, But when performed correctly, it activates the muscles responsible for hip stability and walking alignment. Research published in Clinical Biomechanics shows that hip abduction exercises like side-lying leg raises significantly strengthen the gluteus medius and improve lower body stability. Here is how to perform the movement safely. Lie on your side on a comfortable surface. Keep your bottom leg slightly bent. Your top leg should remain straight. Now slowly lift the top leg upward. Only raise it about 12 to 18 inches. Higher is not necessary. The important part is control. Pause briefly at the top. Then slowly lower the leg back down. Try 12 to 15 repetitions per side. But here is something important many people miss. Do not allow the body to roll backward. Keep your hips stacked on top of each other. This ensures the correct muscle is doing the work. Many people notice something interesting when they try this exercise. The side of the hip begins to fatigue quickly. That is because the gluteus medius often becomes weak after years of inactivity. But strengthening it has important benefits. Studies from the American Council on Exercise show that stronger hip stabilizers improve walking mechanics, reduce knee strain, and enhance overall balance. And this matters more than many people realize. Because falls remain one of the leading causes of injury in adults over 65, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Small strength improvements in the hips can make daily movements safer. But there is one final idea I want you to think about before we finish. These exercises may look simple, yet they target some of the most important muscles for independence after 60. And consistency, not intensity, is what makes them powerful. Conclusion: weak glutes do not happen overnight. They weaken slowly, often without us noticing. But the good news is this: the body can rebuild strength at any age. Exercises like the glute bridge, single leg balance squat, and side-lying leg raise help reactivate muscles that protect your balance, support your posture, and power your daily movements. Start slowly, stay consistent, and pay attention to how your body responds over time. If you found this research helpful, write strength in the comments. It helps others discover this information too. And if you want more science-based strategies for staying strong after 60, consider subscribing and sharing this video. This video was created after extensive research. We cannot include every study here, but you will find scientific references and research links in the description if you want to explore further. Because understanding your body is one of the most powerful steps toward protecting your independence.